Haven't done this in a little while. It is April 25th, 2026. We are on the Pickle, and we're on our way to the Jacksonville Zoo. Neither one of us have ever been there. But to me, this is pretty cool because as a kid, I grew up, my mother, for about 35, almost 40 years, worked for the Bronx Zoo, which became the New York Zoological Society. So as a kid, and she was in the education department. So as a kid, I quite literally grew up in the zoo. You know, I got to see all the behind-the-scene things, and it was just, I took it for granted because I was just a kid, but it was really a pretty privileged situation. I got to see a lot of things that most people don't see, and I got to go around with the keepers, and the Bronx Zoo is one of the most renowned zoos in the country. So never been to Jacksonville Zoo, and of course that becomes the zoo by which I compare all other zoos. And the only one we have locally is the Sanford Zoo. We've been there a couple of times. It's a nice zoo, but it's fairly small, and the animals are fairly limited there. But my understanding is that this is a little bit more of a sprawling park. They have a lot of animals that the Sanford Zoo doesn't have. And so we're excited to see what it's all about. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a great day.
Not just good, but great?
Yeah. Just see all the animals and the chimpanzees. And did we find out if they had any gorillas?
They do. They have lowland or highland gorillas. So, yeah, that was one of the things that motivated us, is that Cricket's always interested in gorillas. And apparently the only two zoos that have gorillas that are, within reasonable proximity are the Brevard Zoo and the Jacksonville Zoo. But the Jacksonville Zoo looked a little bit more interesting. And I think you've been to the Brevard Zoo, right?
I used to work there. I used to be a chimp nanny.
Well, there you go. The chimp nanny has spoken. So, yeah, we'll do that too. We'll do Brevard. We got the season pass for the Jacksonville Zoo because the cost of the season pass is only a little bit more than a day pass for 2 adults. So it gives us good incentive to come back, and we'll come back in the fall or the winter time when the weather is really nice to be walking around. And so this will be a little bit of a preview. We might not, I don't know how big the park is, so I don't know if we'll get to see everything. But if we don't have to worry because we have the pass to be able to come back. And if you come twice in a year, you're already ahead with the season pass, or the season membership, they call it.
Yeah, plus I even got the all experience, so we can go to the 3D movie or experience the animals, feed the animals. We can also ride the train unlimited.
Yeah, so that's like it's like an add-on, right, to the day pass.
Right.
I think it's only a couple of bucks more. So we'll be able to do everything. The only thing we didn't get was the dinosaur experience, which I think if it's anything like the Bronx Zoo, there are certain exhibits that they'll run for a limited amount of time, and you pay a little bit extra to see those. But because we didn't know how long we were going to actually be there, and we have the dogs to get back home to, so we can't be there too late, we decided to skip that. I think there'll be enough of the park between our add-on passes.
In about 10 miles, exit left toward Jacksonville NI-95.
Okay, we will. So, between the day passes and the little add-ons, the dinosaur thing might have been a bit much. So, but we'll see. We don't really have any expectations, so we'll see how it goes. So onward and upward to the Jacksonville Zoo. We never miss the opportunity to stop at Buc-ee's, right, honey?
Right, honey.
So what do you know? Here we are, Buc-ee's. Never pass up an opportunity to eat at Buc-ee's. See how happy Cricket is when we stop at Buc-ee's? Her whole personality. I think maybe if I just build a house in the parking lot of Buc-ee's, it's the key to a happy marriage. Look, See this?
Hi, birdie. I think the birdie's going to eat your eggs.
Casual observation. It is impossible to eat a Buc-ee's burrito in a parking lot without dropping some egg. Can't do it.
The bird doesn't like it.
Buc-ee's was delicious. We're about 35 miles away. I think, yeah. I think about 38 miles away. So, time to make that last little bit of run. We're fueled up. Body and bike. Off to the zoo. If Cricket would ever get a helmet on. What are you going to do with this?
I'm going to have to put it in my pocket.
See what I deal with here? Do you see this? Well, let's get going here. Buc-ee's, it's been real. Alright, CarPlay coming up. 37 miles away. About 33 minutes. Cricket's still not on the bike.
Sorry.
Let's go, woman.
Coming up.
You good?
Proceed to the route. At the stop sign, turn right onto World Commerce Parkway. At the light, use the right lane to turn onto International Golf Parkway.
We're gonna have to make what, a left. So I'm gonna have to get left way, straighten them.
To the left. Look at the puppy.
Mm-hmm. French Bulldog. He's like, stop distracting me, lady. I don't chase motorcycles.
For about 35 miles, continue straight.
All right, back on the road. All right, we're getting ready to exit here.
Use the right lane to take exit 358A onto Zoo Parkway and Heckscher Drive towards State Road 105.
No traffic, wasn't a bad ride. Made pretty good time. Got to stop at our favorite place to stop. Right, honey? Where's that?
Bucky!
That's Buc-ee's.
Take the exit.
All right. Jacksonville Zoo, 1 mile. Hopefully we don't have any kind of a line going into the parking lot.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto Hayden Road. Railroad crossing ahead.
All right, watch your butt.
That wasn't bad.
Guess who we're looking for?
Turn right onto Hayden Road, then arrive at your destination.
Jacksonville Zoo. There's the sign.
Arrive at Jacksonville Zoo and Botanical Gardens. Arrived.
We made it, kids. En route. Let's go.
Turning you off.
Let's go see what the Jacksonville Zoo is all about. All right, we're here. We're looking for gorillas. Show you where we are. This is the entrance to the Jacksonville Zoo. We're at the bald eagle exhibit. There he is. Look at his markings. He's gorgeous. You know, we came all the way here. We could see the stuff right in our backyard. We've seen plenty of these guys in our backyard. That's an Eastern Diamondback, and yes, we have them right on our property.
Not anymore, do we?
Well, we haven't seen any this year, but they've been around. What would a Florida zoo be without an alligator?
Up and to the right is the aviary.
All right, so far we've seen Wild Florida, all the animals that we have right in our backyard. So now we're going to go find some exotics. And of course, no zoo trip is ever complete without the elephants. They got a nice big area here.
Oh my goodness, you're so scary.
Some white rhinos. Those are warthogs. They are ugly.
They look like the back half of donkeys with an ugly pig face.
Why do you got to insult them like that?
It's not that it's not an insult. It's just an observation.
Well, how do you know they feel that way?
I'm not going to tell them.
So I'm not sure what kind of a tortoise he is, but he is a big, that guy's got to weigh 300-400 pounds. I would say 300 pounds would be my guess. He is huge. He'll be about 5 feet long. Let's see what he is. Our Dabra tortoise. They can live up to 100 years. They measure, males are 4 feet in length. Doesn't give a weight, and they are a vulnerable species. We're a Florida park, you gotta have flamingos. We're riding, honey? We're riding a train.
You're riding the train.
Where are we going?
I'm not sure, but we're going to find out.
What if this is like a weird Twilight Zone episode?
That'd be cool.
Where you can find the Lotus and Koi Pond, as well as the Orchid Pavilion. In the back of our zoo is where you can find the Land of the Tiger, where you can find the Komodo Dragon, Malayan Tiger, and Asian Smoked-Clawed Otters.
All right, not that close. So initial impressions of the Jacksonville Zoo. So far pretty cool. Much bigger and much more
Walkways.
a bigger collection of animals than the Sanford Zoo for sure.
Yeah.
As far as how it compares to the New York Zoological Society, the Bronx Zoo.
Bronx
I'm
is
biased.
much bigger.
Well, I'm biased. We haven't seen this whole thing, so we really don't know how big it is. But it's well laid out. The signage is a little bit, could be a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it is very big, and the pathways and the way they have everything laid out makes it seem bigger than it is. So far so good. What are you waiting to do?
To feed a giraffe. What else?
But she loves the thicker sticks, and then I'll give you this one afterwards. Okay?
All right.
I'm gonna have you guys wait right here at the yellow line. Good job. You guys are so lucky. It is a pretty cool job, not gonna lie. Thank you guys.
So Cricket just fed. Honey, how was it to feed a giraffe? Tell me.
It's fun. His tongue is long. It's like a little.
How? This is what Cricket's been waiting for. We got to go find some apes, monkeys, and lemurs. Right, honey?
Yep. Oh, there's stuff up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Find them?
Not sure what that is, but it's pretty impressive.
Looks like, is that the gorilla thing?
I don't know. All right, so we just had lunch. We're taking in some sights here by the flamingos. So far, pretty impressive. A lot of trails, so it's a lot of walking. It's hard to get a scale of how big the zoo is because I feel like we've been walking in a big circle. But a good selection of animals, and all the exhibits are super nice. So far, 2 thumbs up. Jacksonville Zoo. I would say we're probably more than halfway through it. And now we're going to see the jaguar exhibit. All right, we're going to go check out the range of the jaguar. Look at Cricket, she's just running away. So this is what the pathways look like. It really is nicely set up.
Yeah, because then you just run them off perfect. And you light them in the light.
There's a jaguar.
Can you find it?
All right, we're working our way to the manatee exhibit. This is relatively new. We saw on the news that they opened this about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a 10-year project, 10 years in the making. Yep. This is just an enormous tank. All right, so Cricket went to turn our day passes into membership pass, so I'm going to start getting the bike ready. Get all of our stuff on because I stripped all the electronics off of it. Just to sum up a little bit about the Jacksonville Zoo, we had a really good time. It is a much, much bigger zoo than the Sanford Zoo, our most local zoo. As far as comparing it to the New York Zoological Society or the Bronx Zoo, you know, I'm always going to be biased towards the Bronx Zoo, but this was a really enjoyable zoo. We did go ahead and we got the 1-year membership. We upgraded our day pass to a 1 year, so we'll come back because we didn't see everything. We saw most things, but we didn't see everything. So it'll be nice to come back and do it again. As far as the zoo itself, you could tell that they spend a lot of money putting that zoo together. And the zoo is just well done. It's well kept. The enclosures are clean. There's a lot of information on all the animals that you're looking at. The signage is better in some places than others. The zoo is a little bit confusing, but that's also because this was our first time there. So as far as next time, we'll have a little bit of a better idea. We'll be able to study the map a little bit better and be able to relate to it a little bit better because we had no idea where we were going or where anything was. So they do have an app.
Stay in the left 3 lanes.
And you can follow along. You can set out a destination, a waypoint, and it will give you turn-by-turn walking directions. The problem with that is that you're burning the battery on your phone and you have to keep your screen very bright to see it when you're outside, so it's not ideal. You know, the best way is probably just to come a couple of times, get an idea of the layout of the park, and you have some idea of where you're going. Honey, what did you think? Well, give me some thoughts.
I think it was a great experience. I had fun.
What was your...
Got a little hot there this afternoon, but
a little warm.
Cool
it's probably,
now.
Yeah, it's probably about 90 degrees. But we do have a fairly short ride home. What was your favorite exhibit?
well, the gorillas, of course.
Yeah, even though there were only 2, one big silverback, he was kind of sitting far away from the glass, so we didn't get a great look at him, but Cricket had her binoculars, so she was able to.
That's right.
Yeah, she was able to zoom up in on them. And the bonobos, which I had never seen before, which they're kind of related to chimpanzees. I think they're a little bit
But
bigger.
they're a lot skinnier and taller.
Yeah, they're kind of lanky. Really, really
Yeah.
long limbs, and they're not very
Long
heavy
torso.
bodied. Yeah. So that was my first time seeing those, which was cool. So, but everything was great. The manatee exhibit, even though there are only 2 manatees right now. And what was interesting is they have some kind of I don't know if it's a rehabilitation facility for manatees. And we were assuming that they probably bring manatees that they find that are in trouble in the wild to rehabilitate them there, because they were just tank after tank. It was really pretty impressive, the setup they have, almost like a manatee hospital for them. And that was pretty cool to see that. But it also shows you how much money they pump into this zoo, because I mean that thing was all poured concrete and you know, steel piping, and just really a high dollar setup. So, but that to me is indicative that the zoo is healthy. They must be bringing in good membership. They must get good attendance there. And you know, most zoos are non-profit. So, but it was a good time, and we will come back. You know, when the weather cools down, in the fall, and it drops into the 60s and 70s, and we'll come back up and spend the day out here. One more stop for gas, and then we're going to make the run for home. We're about 36 miles away from home. 36 miles from home. We'll be there in about 33 minutes.
And our puppies are gonna lick our faces.
Yep, we got 2 little doggies waiting. Well, 3 doggies waiting for us to get home. 2 of them really waiting. One of them, he just wants to eat. This guy's gonna drag race a gull wing. Riding along, and we will see you next time.
The destination is on your right. Arrive.